morning to the viewers of the live stream, whether you're watching live or after the live stream saves. Welcome to another live stream. Now, this week is such a big week because the week that just happened told you we're going down. It's telling us we're going down. It's saying, hey, we're getting ready to go down. Is there anything that you want to do? And the question is the market going to say, I'm going to give you a chance to do it? That's the only question in my mind that remains. It's not, are we going down? It's not, where are we going down to? It's, are you going to give me a chance to do it? That's it. We'll talk about it. There's not that much new to talk about. There's just review. I think we're going to get everything we talked about in the macro picture. The only question is, are we going to get it in the micro picture? And clearly we didn't get a lower or a higher low, so obviously that's not happening. But can we still get a bounce? We'll see. Welcome to another live stream. We got Dictionary 19, Stephen Jean, Griot, Johnny 118, Craig Coates, Richard Desmond, Sniper Mouse, Mania, Cryptomyalysis, Giancarlo Riso for 53 months, just came out of hibernation. Ready to buy soon. I appreciate the sub. It is not time to buy soon. You still got to wait about 4 to 5 months, my friend. We're going to talk about everything today. I appreciate the sub, man. 53 months, a long time. Thank you very much. We got higher low, says straight down. That's what it looks like, right? But you know what my problem is? We're assuming it has to go straight down. But the reason why we're assuming that is because we're assuming capitulation is lurking. Every time it is capitulation, you do go straight down. But why does it have to be right now? That's the question. And literally the only reason why I think it could still be delayed is because, well, I guess technically it's two reasons. The Moonboy chart and the S&P 500. The Dow Jones just made another all-time high, literally today. So I'm thinking to myself, how could it be that the S&P and the Dow is going vertical and Bitcoin is going to go down to 40,000? It's not impossible. I'm not saying it can't happen. It did happen similarly that way in 2015, but we still crashed by 8%. Actually, it was like 9%. It's the only thing that's keeping me from saying straight down. Now, maybe we are about to go straight down. I'm not trying to tell you that it's bullish. I'm just asking, could it be like 2018, where it looks like it's going to go down, but it doesn't? That's all I'm asking. You know? I'm not on here trying to tell you guys I know the path. You see how it looked like it was going to go down, and then they pulled Uno reverse? That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that if I put my money into a position and then they pull the Uno reverse, You know, like, dude, I could smell it. I literally smell it from here. I smell it. It smells. I can smell the Uno reverse from a mile away. No, I'm just kidding. That was funny though. No, it's not funny. But I don't want to get blasted by a Uno reverse because we've seen it happen so many times. But I'm okay with missing the move because if that Uno reverse comes, we know, like, we know with certainty there's no more Uno reverse. We just don't know if there's a Uno reverse. That's my problem. And it's just so easy to say it's just going to go straight down because it just broke the low. But it keeps stopping. It keeps stopping. Every time it looks like it's getting ready, it stops. But make no mistake, this week has revealed to us that we will be coming down here. So there is zero bullish propaganda. There's none. It doesn't exist. Every time we make another low, the bottom is in. There's no bottom. But I didn't think it would be this bad. Like, that's why I'm not sure if we're going to get a relief rally. Because I feel like now it's too obvious. You know? Are they really going to give everyone a chance to short or close their positions? But that's the mind games of the market, because I also know, I'm not going to use names, there's big YouTubers that are saying the bottom is forming right now. So if we do bounce from here, everyone's going to get euphoric again. So it's simply a mind game, and you just have to live with the outcome. If I miss the capitulation, I'll live. But my gut is telling me I can't do anything because my gut says the Uno reverse is lurking. They're waiting. It's like cryptomyosis. Cryptomyosis has his magic cylinder just waiting for me. He's waiting for me to attack so he can activate magic cylinder and then send it back up. I'm not biting on it. I'm not biting on it. If it goes down without me, it goes down without me. But I can smell the cryptomyosis magic cylinder. The only reason I feel that way is because of the Moonboy chart. It's the only thing that's keeping me not bear. Like, I am bearish, but maybe I'm a fool, but the Moonboy chart has made me so much money, and every time I fade the Moonboy chart, I give it all back. So I can't go against the Moonboy chart. It says we should bounce. I just don't know. I don't know if the bounce is down here and then we go down, or if the bounce is here and then we go down. But because I don't know, I'm not taking any positions. And that's just my point of view. I know some of you guys are already max short, which is fine, but I just know the Uno revert. I know it's there. I just don't know where it is. It's like that game from the Squid Games where they're stepping on the floor and they don't know where the floor is going to come out. I don't know. I don't know where the tile is. So I'm letting everyone else go in front of me. So if people are shorting, you guys can short, and if it goes down, it goes down. But if we get a Uno reverse, I'm not getting liquidated on this. With all the information we now have, if we get this, it's basically the market telling you, here's your gift for your troubles. Because it's just too bearish. It's too bearish to be bullish. Like, you have everyone's bearish, so it's bullish, but now it's actually too bearish to be bullish. Like, the fact that MSTR is bleeding the way that it is, it wants to go lower. It's just, is the market going to give you a gift basket? Is it going to give you a gift basket? And I have no issue admitting I don't know, because I don't. But I do know that if this does come, that's it. There's no more time left. And I'm thinking to myself, well, the S&P is not falling and the Dow is actually going vertical. So we're in the mania phase. And I look at Nvidia and I say, brother, Nvidia has been the same price now for almost a year. This is what happened not only last year that resulted in a big correction, but it also happened in 2018. So we are at the very tip of the iceberg where this is the missing piece. And I really don't want to miss it. I don't. I'm going to be heartbroken if I do. But my gut is telling me that something is not right here. You know? Like, I know it's bearish. We're all on the same page. We know it's bearish. But how do we know that they don't do one of these? You know? You don't. You don't know. How do you know it doesn't just go straight down right now? It could. I don't know. But it's because I don't know, which is why I'm not doing anything. Because if I don't do anything, I don't lose any money. If I assume this is going to happen and I throw my money in and then this happens, I lose everything. So I'd rather sit on the sidelines. Maybe I'm a little wuss, but I'm okay with that because I'm not losing any more money. But my God, the market is telling you we're ultra bearish. Somebody asked me the other day if BMNR is going to $10. Dude, we almost hit that. We're almost there. I have a smile on my face right now because it's so bearish. Like, this is like a bear's wet dream. Only if it bounces, though. If it bounces, the Bears get a second chance. If it doesn't bounce, then I get left behind. But even if we get this, there's still going to be a bounce. We mathematically cannot bottom here. It's impossible. So I have to just sit on my hands. This guy's telling me to DCA. Brother, respectfully, I can guarantee you the DCA does not work. I'm sorry. How's it bearish? We're back at 59K. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Come on, where are the Moon Boys? I need the Moon Boys in the chat. The Bears are attacking me. Where's the Moon Boys? We got Not Nuded. That's a Moon Boy. Welcome, Not Nuded. Where's my fellow Moon Boys? Wow, look at that. This thing's done, man. Where are my fellow Moon Boys? All right, so what are we doing here? What's the plan? We got to start preparing for option B. We just go straight down to hell. Where's my chart? Here it is. Okay. Let's just assume we're going down now. What happens? Well, technically, yeah, but there's no way to know. If it's going to be like 2022, we would go all the way down to 45,000 before we bounced. But we don't know if it's going to be like 2022. That's my issue. I don't know. $300-day support got hit. What does that mean? We just got a white candle, but I think that's major catastrophic event, July 4th. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. Major catastrophic event. Major catastrophic event. And I'm not trying to trigger anyone, but I'm like, why are we going down so hard? And then I realized that the full moon is actually on the 29th. It's not, it's usually on the first. The full moon is usually in the first week of the month, but this time around, it's actually at the end of the month. So if we could just hold here, man, there's going to be a bounce. I'm telling you, I believe. full, full cope. I believe. Not Nuded says MSTR is not a bad buy right now. Right before it's about to get sliced in half. Dude, if MSTR is going much lower, man, it's not a good buy right now. Not financial advice. We just gotta sit and wait, see if it plays out. Let's see if we get the bounce. Let's see if we get the bounce. Semiconductors are still bullish. Dow Jones. Yeah, but I feel like there's going to be one more squeak rally for the stock market. Doesn't there feel like there's going to be a squeak rally? Last year was June 21st. This year is July 13th. Yeah, but weren't we bullish last June? Yeah, we went up out of there. See, for me, I'm not obsessed with calling it. The only thing I want to not miss is the big move down. So what I mean by that is if we went like this, let's just say we went to 53K. It's like, okay. And then we get the bounce. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't want to miss the meaty move to the bottom. That's the only thing I'm worried about. So if we just grind like this, I'm okay with that. That's why I'm not freaking out. Christopher5 says this is the same thing that happened March 6th, 2025. Everything shit their pants and we went straight up. Looks very similar. My friend Christopher my friend, I appreciate the 5. I appreciate the support. There is a 0% chance we go up from here. My friend Christopher, every measurable metric that you can look at says we're going significantly lower. I just caution you to putting in all of your money because at any moment we could go straight down. And the end of the bear market is worse than the beginning of the bear market. So this was the end of the capitulation, and this was the end of the bear market. A lot of coins got decimated on both of them. The end of the bear market is extremely bad, man. There is no evidence anywhere that says we're going like this. It doesn't exist. The only question is, are we going to get a chance to do whatever we want to do? Whether it be exit a long, exit a holding, short, whatever. I'm hoping for this. But I'm not ignoring the glaring outcome of just going straight down. So I appreciate the 5, but Christopher, my young friend, this is nothing like March of 2025, man. It's not even comparable. MSTR, I believe, in the spring of 2025 was forming a triple bottom. MSTR now is going straight down. So I just caution you. It seems like there's nothing that we can tell you to make you bearish. I would just caution you putting in all of your money. That's all. Not financial advice. Everything says we're going straight down very, very shortly. If we get a chance to bounce, it'll be people's final chance to exit, which is technically what this was. But I don't think people actually exited. I think they just sat there. Look at Bitcoin March of 2025. Yes, I understand, Chris. I see you're just ultra moon boy, so there's nothing we can do. So I hope you're right. So you think we're in here? It would be nice. It would be very nice. I actually would hope for something like this. Because then it's going to go straight down. But I can't say that I agree, unfortunately. Could we see a triple bottom like the one we saw in 2019? I can't say that this is impossible, right? You could get something like this. If this ended up happening, I would probably cry. I would cry tears of joy. Can we get this triple bottom pattern? Of course. It would be beautiful. It would be a thing. Oh God, it would be the most beautiful thing I've seen. Could you imagine that this happens? But this is all bullish propaganda. There's no evidence to suggest that this is probable. It's just copium. But it would be the most beautiful thing. I can't say with certainty that this is going to happen because I'm not 100% sure. And I'm okay with not knowing because I'm not losing any money. If I don't know, I don't do anything. Some of you guys know that we're going up, and that's okay. If that's working, it's working. Some of you guys know we're going down, which I think we're going down too. I just don't know if we're going down now. That's the question. But I appreciate the 5 from Mr. Chris. I wish you the best, my young friend. Bullish divergence weekly. Yes, another moon boy is in the chart. Another moon boy in the chat. Let's run a poll here. Get the votes. Get the votes in. We're at a big crossroads right now. We're in a big crossroads right now. Even Coinbase broke down today. All right, so let's examine the possibility that we just go down from here. Yeah, but see, I feel like even if we went like this, that's yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think the fact that we went up, or not up, but the thing is, these moves down happen very quickly, right? So if we're gonna move down, it's gonna have to happen over the next week and a half. So I feel like even if that did happen, we would still get a big bounce. You know? That's why I'm not going to freak out. Because the bottom has to be here somewhere, even if we did go straight down, we would still get a big bounce. You know? So this is still a monster move. This is going to be like 30%, because at the end of 2022, this was 37%. And even this was, oh man, this was almost 30%. Yeah, I'm not going to freak out, actually. The only way it's messed up is if we went straight down like this, but we're not going to, because this was the bear market bottom. If we really go down now, this is not the bear market bottom. It's literally impossible. It has to be a bounce. So I'm prepared for either situation, honestly. Alt season can still happen. Maybe, man. Maybe. Slow bleed for 2 weeks. Yeah, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know what? I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna let it play out. That's what I'm gonna do. If you guys are making money, that's great. If you guys are losing money, that's not great. I'll find a way. I shall find a way. This gentleman types in caps lock. Check the chart. It takes 3 months to slow bleed to the real bottom. The gentleman spams in the chat. So this is exhibit A of a slow bleed. We went down 43% in 12 days. That's slow bleed number 1. You can actually probably just stretch this out. So over the course of 30 days, we went down 50%. That's bottom number 1. Bottom number 2, we fell in 14 days to the bottom. We fell by 30%. That's slow bleed number 2. And slow bleed number 3, as per the gentleman in the chat, we went straight down by 50% over the course of 20 days. So I disagree with your spamming. Thank you for playing. Check January, check June 6th. Yes, June 6th was not the bottom, my friend. This was not the bottom. If you're saying that we're going to consolidate here, I agree with you, but that's not the bottom. That's the bottom accumulation range. To have a COVID-2, we need another real-world event that's on that scale. Nothing is happening. Don't you worry, my young friend. It will come right on schedule. Don't you worry. Just keep your news on every morning and just wait until September and it'll show up. It will show up, my friend. 10 billion Elon or more is a good bag. My man. My man. I can't send screenshots. I understand what you're saying, my friend. The only thing that matters to me is, are we going to 40K this week or are we going in August and September? I'm not trying to debate that we're bullish or we're bearish or there's a period of accumulation. I'm not disagreeing. My only concern is, are we here? Or are we here? And I'm going to assume that if we don't go down soon, we should be in the second option. Well, it's not going to look like this. It's going to be like this. That's all it is. So if you have evidence that we're here, I can't really dispute it. I see it too. MSTR, oil, everything says we're bearish. I'm just simply curious if there's a Uno reverse card sitting underneath one of the tiles and they're waiting for me to do something to activate the magic cylinder to where we rally back up. The power law? I don't even know what the power law is. July 4th, Armageddon, double eclipse, waxing, blood moon. Nah, there are no more blood moons. You guys are laughing. You guys laugh at the astronomy, bro. Don't be surprised if we got a full moon coming up. I didn't know that. I thought the full moon was in the beginning of the month, but it's at the end of the month this time. Don't be shocked. That's why you're not allowed to talk about astronomy. Everybody laughs at you. You get booed out of the building. The indicators. He said the indicators. Dude, I'm not disagreeing with you. I see all the same things that you see. I'm just simply saying that the Moon Boy chart says there's that chance that we bounce. And the closer we get to it, the more likely it is that we bounce. I just don't know if we go down first and then bounce, or if we bounce and then go down. So if your indicators tell you that we're guaranteed to go down, then we should be going down in the next 2 weeks. And then you're right, right? But if we go back up in the next 2 weeks, then you get liquidated. Not you specifically, just in general. So I agree that the indicators do scream we are about to go straight down. But for me, the risk reward is even if we go straight down, we know there's going to be a bounce, and I'll just take the position on the bounce. I'm not 100% sure we're going straight down right now. That doesn't mean that I'm the best person in the world. It's just for me, I'm not 100% sure we're going straight down right now. So because of that doubt in my mind, I have to sit and do nothing. And even though your indicators might be saying we are about to go straight down, they may be right. I'm not trying to disagree and say you're wrong. There's a plethora of indicators that say we're about to go straight down. But at least now we know with certainty, you know? I don't know. You guys don't think there's going to be a bounce? You think we're just going straight down from here? Yeah, only 9% say 65K. Man, it doesn't seem likely, right? It's not looking too good. There's no beach pail anytime soon. Yeah, there's no beach pail anytime soon. If I recall correctly, when we were bottoming in the last bear market, you pretend like you were talking. No, that was last year. We've only been in a bear market for 9 months. How high do I think the bounce would go? Well, now that we made a lower low, the bounce is smaller. Like, it's not about, for me, this is the thing, because I know what I'm trying to say in my brain. I just don't feel like explaining it to you guys because I don't get anything out of it. It's not about the price, it's about the time. So to me, if we just sat here, it's the same thing as a bounce. It's just very rare that Bitcoin would just sit here. I don't have any type of target for a bounce. It doesn't matter. It's just the bounce prevents this. I just don't want to miss this. So if we technically grind lower and then spike up, it doesn't matter how high it gets. So I don't have a target. But because we made a lower low, it should actually be lower now. Like now the bounce, if it comes, is going to be smaller. But it should theoretically hit this yellow moving average. So if it ends up, which we're getting we're getting really freaking close to this long-term holders. So could we come down to this and then go like this? And then this lines up? That's all. I'll accept that as well. That's what I'm talking about though. Like, I'm just trying to see, are we going like this? But the problem is when you get pinched like this, you usually do. You just go straight down. You see how we got pinched in here? Then we went straight down. But the thing is, you always come back to this orange moving average. It's essentially the short-term holders. It is. It's the blanket. So I'm just trying to see, can we come back to this orange line before we go straight down? That's the bounce I'm looking for. I don't have a target. I just, normally you come back to this orange moving average. So if we go down first and then come back up, that's also fine. You know? Because historically it does happen. Now here, you touched it barely and then you went down. In 2018, we went up to it multiple times. In 2014, I mean, technically in 2014, you did go down to the realized price. You broke the low, and then you went back to the orange moving average. So I can't even rule that out. Like, I'm not obsessing over the bounce because I think it's going to go up. I'm obsessing over the bounce because I don't want to miss the move down to the bottom. So if we're going to go lower from here and then bounce, that's okay with me too. That's fine. I mean, if anything, that would be better because now we know this shit is bearish. You know, sometimes there's a little bit of doubt that creeps in, but now that we're down here, like, we know it's going to fail. I'm just not sure if there is a bounce, and if there is a bounce, what is it going to look like? Because to us, we would say this can't happen because look at what happened in 2022. But we can't assume it's going to be 2022. It could be right here. That's why I'm just waiting on the sidelines because I don't know. Riser for 2 says, Ich hab Sonnenbrand auf dem linken Unterarm. Scheisenhausen. I appreciate the two. I appreciate the two from Riser the Shizer. That's gonna be your new name. Riser the Shizer. I appreciate the two. Shizer Riser. One week Austin channel. Yeah, the 1 week Austin channel got invalidated. That's why I'm not relying on the momentum anymore. The momentum indicators. That's why the gentleman saying the stochastic heat map says we should go down. I'm not saying that he's wrong. It's just the momentum has been invalidated many times this market cycle. But at some point, the stochastic heat map does say we will be going lower. It's just when is that? And because the Gaussian channel got invalidated, we have to be open to the possibility that other momentum indicators will also get invalidated. But with this move down that we just got, Riser Chiser is saying he has sunburn on his left arm. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's tough. Sunburn sucks. I don't get sunburn anymore. I wear sunblock every time I go outside. Even if I'm outside for an hour, I go out, I put sunblock on. The long-term holder MVRV should have made a new low. Yes, she did. Yeah, so we know we're bearish. Scheisenhausen. Question is, are we going to come... Oh, wait, sorry. This isn't even the right timeline. The question is, are we going to come back to this orange moving average? You know, because you could also run the propaganda of, well, what if we're in here? And it's like lopsided. There's all the prop. This is where the propaganda comes out. You know, why can't we do this? I guess there's not enough time, but... But for me, it's the art of not knowing that's keeping me from doing anything, because I don't know. If you look at the 1,000-day moving average, we're bullish. This is it, guys. This is the moment of truth, man. If we bounce here, it's going to be a gift. If we don't bounce, then so be it. The question is, what happens if we don't bounce and we just go down? I don't know, because I don't know where we would stop. If we're repeating 2022, we would stop at 1618 and then the 2618. Which is 49K and then 35K. So if we go like this, get a little bit of chop into the summer, you know, can't... This is also... This was the other option that was presented. Remember, there was two options? This is the other one. I'll live with this. I would live with this too. 60K down to 37, 38. There's only two options here. They both lead to the same destination. My thing is, if this is going to happen, it's kind of got to happen now. It's got to like speed up. Which is why the fact that we're still in June, but we're still here, makes me think there's still a chance for a bounce. Because if you look at what happens from June into July, it does favor the bullish propaganda. Right? This was June into July was bullish. The year prior to that, June into July was bullish. We go to the year before that, June into July was bullish. So there is a propaganda, here it is again, June into July was bullish. The propaganda favors July being bullish. It's just, this one was just bearish all the way through. We were bearish. July was bearish. Most of the time, June into July is bullish. So I'm thinking to myself, if we're going to capitulate down, we should go down now. Well, this one, the bottom was in July. We should go down now, which we are. It just made another low. But again, if it's June 30th and we're still floating around here, I think the odds of us getting a bounce increases. And to some people, again, the reason why I'm obsessing over it is because I'm looking for this. I'm not looking for the bottom. I'm not looking for the top. I'm looking for this. Where is this? Because that's where the money is. The money isn't made on this chopping bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are shorting right now. Maybe they're right. But if they're wrong, they get chopped. I'm looking for the point of there is no if. There's no if. That's my point. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm looking for there is no if. We're going down now. And I'm not 100% sure. Just because I'm not 100% sure doesn't mean that we're not going down. It just means I don't know. Maybe some of you do know, and that's fine. But like when we were right here, there was no question in my mind we're about to go down. I still have questions here. When we were here, there was no question in my mind that we're about to go up. If I have doubt, I don't do anything. And I learned my lesson because I knew here in the back of my head, I think we're about to go down, but we need old season. And we went down. But I didn't not do anything. I still held my positions. So even though there was enough evidence to suggest we're going lower, I stayed in because I didn't want to miss the old season. There's enough evidence that says we're going lower right now. But the difference is I don't have any position. So if we go down, that's okay. I don't have any money to lose. If we go up, that's okay. I don't have any positions. I don't lose any money. My thing that I learned is stop losing money. Some people don't care and they just hold all the way to zero. Those days are over for me. I promise myself I'm never going like that ever again because it's impossible to get out of that. So if we really go down from here, it sucks, but I don't lose any money. But I'm looking for the point of no return where there's nothing you can say that makes it go up. We must go down now. So if that means we go up, we know from here we must go down. If we go back up from here, we know we must go down. I don't think we necessarily must go down right now. That's just my opinion. We know with the signals that we're getting that we're probably about to go straight down. But in my mind, there's always, what if there's a bounce, you know? That's my problem. Markov forecast says 15%. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, we are in a downtrend. We're in a bear market. We're getting closer and closer. Yeah, see now gold and silver are bouncing too. We're getting closer and closer to the Scheisenhausen, where it's just so bearish that everything is going to disintegrate. And we're starting to see that now. Doge is getting ready to go into 6 cents. I remember some guy called me a sellout because I said Doge was going to 5 cents. Well, no matter what I say, I get trolled. But we're getting very close, which is why I hope there is another rally, because, dude, there's not that much time left. Look, the bottom has to be here somewhere. There's no more, like, we're starting to get to that point to where it's just so freaking bearish. It's just gonna, the bottom's gonna fall out and it's just gonna go like that. Because while you can say the bottom was in June here and the bottom was in November, you got to remember that the top was in November too. Our top was in October. So we actually don't have enough time for something like this, which is why it's starting to get exciting, because this is like a magnet. And the stronger, the closer you get to the end, the stronger it's going to get. Which is why in my heart, I'm hoping there's another bounce, because this magnet is going to suck it down. You know, this was really supposed to be the entry, but I'm not a trader, so I didn't do anything. But the thing is, for my particular strategy, if this happens, it's going to give me the same exact entry as back here, which is why it doesn't matter. That's why I'm not obsessing over the price. I'm obsessing over the time. Because even if we went down and then we went up and then we went down, it's the same thing for me. It doesn't matter. Which is true. You had Bitcoin at 63K in February. You had Bitcoin 63K in April. Bitcoin 63K in June. If we go down and then pop up and then Bitcoin is 63K again in August, it doesn't matter. The price of Bitcoin has not moved. Then you go down to the bottom. But I have to respect the very glaring possibility that we are about to just go straight down, which if we do, then we'll get a bounce and then go down again, and then that's it. So it's kind of the same thing over and over. We know where we're at, right? There's no real debate. Where are we? The question is, when are we? When are we going down? It's tough. Can you chart a hypothetical bottom if you don't think it's possible? You're saying if the bottom is in now, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's impossible. That's like saying, what would I look like with hair? I don't know. It's impossible. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. Getting a new car today. Is that bearish or bullish? Anytime somebody gets a car, the market goes down. I guess we're bearish, huh? The bottom is close. The bottom is in every time the bottom falls out. You gotta be careful, man. I'm just thinking to myself, could this happen? Could this happen? In the back of my head, it says it could. It technically could. That doesn't mean that I'm right. I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't. But because it's a possibility, I have to do nothing. Welcome, eat my shorts. Oh, this is it, man. This is a big moment right now. Big, big moment. How the shitcoins doing? Are the shitcoins breaking down? Chain links getting ready to break down. XLM. Oh, XLM came back down. Yeah, it's almost like every time XLM spikes up, we go down after that. Bitcoin Cash is dead. Yeah, but even Bitcoin Cash is starting to like kind of hold a little bit. The S&P is starting to curl, which is bearish. Pi cycle bottom. The pi cycle bottom is invalidated. Not gonna work. Tether dominance just made another high. %73 says sub 55K. Litecoin went below the bear market low. Did it? Yeah, Litecoin is done. Oh, XRP is almost. Oh yeah, nah, we're done. Nah, we're done. Dude, we're going way down, man. Son of a bitch. The only question is, are we going down now? This guy said if shitcoins don't break, that's how you know we bottomed, as every single shitcoin has just made another low. Yo, are you guys actually bullish? Like legitimately, is there anyone in the chat who's actually bullish and is not trolling? Like, I'm not being dick, I'm genuinely curious. Are you guys like full-blown moon boys right now, or what? How many people are actually bullish? New all-time high before 2027. So there's not that many bullish people, there's only a handful. Was this where we were yesterday, or we're lower than we were? Yeah, we were here yesterday. I'm gonna assume that if we're still here by the end of the week, it's gonna bounce. Because we are so bearish, like we are so bearish right now that it should just go straight down. So if we don't do that, it should actually bounce and then go straight down. Like, I can't believe how bearish it is, right? Like, I understand that it is bearish, but the fact that we're getting all the bearish propaganda at one shot, like, look at the price of oil and the price of MSTR. The altcoins are making new lows. It's so bearish right now. Isn't July usually pumpish? Most of the time, July is bullish, yeah. Which is why if we're going down, it should happen now. Which we are going down. But I'm curious to see if it's going to hold. Because it still could. Still could. Man, could you imagine if we go right back up to 66K? That would be so. It's so bearish, it's tempting to be a contrarian. No, I don't believe in that rubbish contrarian. It's so bearish because we're about to enter the most bearish part of the bear market. The only question in the back of my head is, could we be here? It's not a question of if it's bearish, it's a question of when is it going to be bearish? And even something like 2019 too. That's I'm not I'm not trying to be a contrarian. I'm trying to see, is it possible that we're going to bounce? And I have to argue that it's so bearish right now that we have to go down now if it's going to be bearish. Or at least capitulation bearish, right? In my head, that's bearish. Like, us going down isn't bearish. We know it's bearish. When I say bearish, I'm talking 42,000, 45,000. Are we going to 45,000 right now? That's what I'm trying to say. Because we're in a bear market. But I have to imagine that if we don't go down by the end of June, we should actually bounce into July. And it would just be the sweetest moment because we know that there's no more time left. So if we're bullish in July, we must go down. There's no if, ands, or buts. We must go down. Right now, we don't have to go down. We could. I'm smiling as I say that because I'm trying to get high on the hopium. We could go down now, but like, come on, baby. Talk to me. Or the Riserhausen, the Scheishausen. Tell me where it hurts. Scheisenhausen. And the only reason why I think this is possible is because the Dow Jones just made another all-time high. And you know what else is interesting? Let me talk to you. Let me try and give you some perspective. In 2022, when MSTR went straight down like this, we went straight down with it. Bitcoin's not going straight down yet. It's still kind of like chopping around. See? So if we just sit here for another week, I'm going to assume there's going to be a bounce. This morning I said, holy shit, it's coming. But then we bounced. So it's like the fact that we keep doing this, it makes me think the buyers are still holding up the price. And by the end of the month, if we're still here, I don't think it's coming. I think there's going to be another rally. And then it's going to come. Like, think about it. If this exact thing happened, which is not gonna, this is September. And this is still too high. We still have to go lower. It would be a dream scenario. That's what it is. I'm coping right now, but I'm only coping because it's possible, you know? Like, I'm not trying to say there's a bounce coming because I'm trying to say there's a bounce coming. I'm saying there could still be a bounce because the Dow is still bullish, the S&P is holding up, and it's so bearish right now that if we're going to go down, we're going to go down soon. Which means if it's so bearish right now and we don't go down, there's only one other outcome. It goes back up. Even if we go sideways, that's the same thing. We are capitulation bearish right now. So that means if we don't capitulate, it's not going to drop. And even if you go to 2018 and you look at the stochastic heat map that guy keeps propagating in the chat, in 2018, your stochastic heat map was the same color that it is right now. It doesn't, like, we don't have to go down. The guy in the chat, I don't know if this is the same heat map that he has, but this is the one that I use. This is my personal chart I'm about to share with you guys. This is the one that I use on my own. When we turn black here, you come down here every single time. But here's the thing, you turned black in 2018 and look at what happened. You bounced and then you went down. So I'm thinking to myself, is this possible? It's a lower low, so everyone's bearish. We're just above the realized price. And that's exactly what's happening now. It's a lower low, so everyone's bearish. We're just above the realized price. But you get one more scam rally and then you go down. And if this happens, I'm going to become a religious man. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the propaganda that I'm sucking on. Oh no, I'm revealing too much. This is my secret Moonboy. Not my Moonboy chart, sorry. That's my secret chart. Whoops. But that's the point. Like, the heat map says we're bearish, but it also says we could go up because in 2018 we did. You know? Like, I'm sucking down legitimate copium. It's not like copium from the people on YouTube where, oh, look, we just made another lower low. It's bullish. Like, it's legitimate cope. Cope harder, boy. And I'm like getting a little bit of excitement because it's like, it's actually legit. That's legit copium. It is bearish. It's extremely bearish. There's no, maybe it's going up. It's gonna go down. It's just every day that passes that we don't go down means we could go back up. But for all I know, tomorrow morning we could be down here, which means that that's it. Then we're going to get the bounce and then we go down. Crypto Rally for 5 says we're going to bottom on the 350 SMA like last bear market. Tell me I'm wrong. Jive Turkey. I appreciate the 5. Yeah, the moving averages break every single move. The moving averages don't work anymore. I've never looked at the 300-week moving average. Maybe in like 2022. I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. But all the moving averages don't work anymore. You guys are gonna, not you guys, but people that look at it like this will make the same mistake that I made. Yeah, the 300-week moving average didn't even hold last time. So it's already bearish. That's it, man. Come on, dude. Did you even look at it? I appreciate the 5. Yeah, we fell below it last time. By 15%. Yeah, nah, dude, literally everything says we're going to 45,000. Unless this is the wrong indicator, I just took the length and I put 300. Maybe I'm wrong. But the very last market cycle, we went 15% below it. 350? Oh yeah, sorry. 300, you're right. See, 350. Yeah, so here's the flaw with this. This is called the basketball. This is called the basketball theory. You bounce the ball and there's a lot of space off the floor. The second time you bounce the ball, there's no space between the floor. So why is it that this time you got stuck at it, but this time you didn't touch it? You're getting closer and closer, which means the next time around, it's probably going to break. When you bounce a ball and it goes like this, till it stops bouncing, it usually breaks down. There was a big gap here, there was a small gap here, there was no gap here. It's probably going to break. That's what happened here. You keep bouncing off the same floor till the bottom falls out. That's why if we bounced here, it would be a very small bounce, and then the bottom falls out. But I appreciate the 5. I disagree with the moving average. I think the moving average is going to break. I don't think it's going to hold. Maybe it does. I'm not an expert, as you can see. But in my opinion, it's not going to hold. But I appreciate the 5. Demon says, my super chat. Oh, I appreciate the 2. Don't you think buying some MSTR right now? I appreciate the 2. No, MSTR is about to get cut in half. I don't think buying now is a good idea, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I think that the fact that MSTR is going straight down and Bitcoin isn't means that when Bitcoin goes straight down, MSTR is going to go even lower. So, you know what? The sunny propaganda at $40, I can't even rule it out now. And I'm not putting any money into something that might go down another 50%. So, you know, props to the dude that called it. Sunny said $40. So it might be going down there, which is why I'm not touching anything. Because I learned for me that if something could happen, it will happen. You can't lose all your money if you have your money stored somewhere safe. MSTR can't go to $40 if it's January 2027 and Bitcoin is going up. But the fact that Bitcoin has always gone to a certain place and MSTR is telling us that we're going to go there, but Bitcoin hasn't gone there yet, means that it can go down there. Like MSTR cannot come up here. It's impossible. At least in the next 2 or 3 months. So this can't happen. But it could come down here. It very well could. So because it could happen, I'm not buying here. I appreciate the two. Is MSTR going bankrupt? No, it's just another, it's propaganda. Every market cycle, there's propaganda. MSTR was a scam back here, and then it did a 50x, 40x. People are going to call MSTR a scam down here, and then it's going to do a 10x or whatever it ends up doing. I don't know. The propaganda shows up every time. But that's how you know we're getting close, because the propaganda's starting to spawn in. The narrative always shows up. That's why I don't read the news, because I'm not saying the news is irrelevant, but if you know what the trend is, the news isn't going to do anything. That's why the news for MSTR doesn't matter to me, because we know it's coming down here. I just don't know why, right? Why is it going down? Oh, well, because of this and that. Okay, that's fine. Why is Bitcoin going to go to 40,000? I don't know, but it is. Or I don't know, like, I don't want to say that. Maybe it doesn't, but I don't know the reason for it, because the reason shows up every time. When we went down here, it was rate hikes and FTX. When we went down here, it was because Roger Ver and some other guy forked Bitcoin Cash into something else, Bitcoin SV. I don't know what the reason is. Right now, they're sitting in a room making the reason as to why it's going to go down there. Oh, we only went down because of this. It hasn't been released to the public yet. That's private information that I don't have, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Not Nuded says, I'm calling it now. We bottomed right now. Look at the altcoins. Look at this dude. Look at the altcoins. I appreciate the 5 from Crypto Rally. Thanks for checking. Yeah, just be careful, right? It's not linear. And I say it the way that I say it because I made the same mistake already. And I don't want to see people make the mistake that I made. When people look at things, they don't take into consideration that the diminished returns are very real and the momentum shifting is very real. That's why I got hosed, because I thought the top was here based on the momentum. Unfortunately, it was a double wash, because exiting here was the correct move. And moving averages are momentum indicators. It doesn't seem like it because it's price action from the last however many days, but the fact that Bitcoin is getting closer to something means that it doesn't respect it the way that it once did. So in other words, if we pretend that this isn't here, right? Let's just assume this doesn't exist. Most people would have said the last bottom we had was 68% above the moving average. This bottom here was 30% above the moving average. So we can speculate that the bottom should be 30% above the moving average. So you could have said, look, the bottom is in. That's what it always does. And then it goes down. So now people will say, well, the bottom was on here last time, so the bottom has to hold. But even the market cycle before that, you could have speculated that the bottom might have been a little bit above it. So the fact that you're getting closer to it means you don't have consistent information. And that's what I try and look for. I try and look for consistent information. And that doesn't mean that I'm always right, because I'm not. But I can't look at one sample size and say, well, last time we bottomed here, so the bottom has to be in. Because even I fell for the propaganda last market cycle. The bottom is always at the 200-week moving average, and we blew right through it. But when we were coming down here, the argument was, well, the bottom's always at the 200-week moving average, because that's what has always happened. That's what has always happened, yeah. But the very last market cycle told you that it's not happening. And now, again, people said the 200-week moving average is going to hold, which it's definitely something. Like, we're chopping around here, but we chopped around here last time as well. So moving averages don't work the way that they usually do, at least all the time. Like, I actually think there's a chance here that our green moving average isn't going to work next market cycle, because this bear market broke so many moving averages. Sorry. This bear market broke so many laws that we can't assume it's going to work forever. But historically, when you lose this moving average, it's a bear market. That has always been the case. But we never came back and touched it. In every bear market, you come back, I think at least. Yeah, in every bear market, you come back. Oh, no, we didn't touch it this time. Okay. So the last two bear markets we did. We never came back and tagged it. So I'm not going to sit here saying, oh, well, we have to come back up here. That's rubbish. That's dangerous. The reason why the moving averages don't behave the way that they always do anymore is because the momentum is changing. You can just see by looking at it, it's getting less and less steep, meaning it's not going to work the same way forever. And that's why the moving average is no longer... It doesn't mean they can't act as resistance and support, because they do, but they don't have the same laws that they once did, which is why the 300-week moving average, or whatever this is probably going to break, because we're getting closer and closer to it every time we go down. And because we went on it last time, we're probably going to go through it this time. So that's why I answer the things the way that I do, is because I already made the mistake. And I just don't want to see people make the same mistake that I made. Check the 400 EMA. Nah, there's no more EMAs, brother. Bearish. I think Pepe could lose another 50%. Yes. Absolutely. We have yet to reach the most bearish part of the market cycle. It gets me excited that it's coming. It's just, baby, talk to me. Are we going to get another bounce? I know it doesn't seem likely right now. And maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe we do go down. But I have to argue that we are so bearish right now that if we don't go down soon, we might actually go up again. And when I say go up, I'm not talking about like, oh my God. It's going to be a little slither of a rally. But that's all I need. Because we went down here, this is the same thing as this if we would have went up the first time. For me, it's not about the price, it's about the time. And I know I already said that because we're going in circles. I would prefer, like, I'm going to be honest with you, if we go up now, this is the best case scenario, which is why I don't know if they're going to give it to us. Because I feel like I feel like they showed too much. And who's they? I'm just referring to the market. Remember, they is anyone who's not you, right? So if me and Matthew Dropko are playing in a hot tub together, if you're talking to your wife, you say they're playing in the hot tub. And your wife says, well, who's they? The two guys in the hot tub. Anyone who's not you is they. So when I say they, I'm referring to the buyers. I feel like it would be too obvious if we're bearish. But that's the beauty of the market. You don't know. And the other beautiful thing is every time we go down, there's YouTubers saying the bottom is in. And every time we bounce, there's YouTubers saying this is it. We're going up. So I do think it's possible. And then I look at it from the other coin and I say, well, there's probably so many people that are bearish right now. They're already shorting. So it's not bullish because they're shorting. It would be bullish because if we don't go down right now, they have to cover their shorts. And when they cover their shorts, that's what makes us go up. And then when they cover their shorts, there's no more reason to go up because it's not actually bullish. And then we go down. There's all a bunch of jibber jabber nonsense. But that's what it is. It's hypotheticals because the price of Bitcoin has not moved in 4 months. So people coming on saying with certainty, we must go down now. And then it goes like this. It's like, well, what happened? I'm actively telling you, I don't know, because I do accept the responsibility that there's a chance we're going down right now. So I can't tell you with certainty we're going to get this. But I have to respect the possibility that it's there. So it's definitely cope, but I feel like it's legitimate cope because we're still sitting here. We haven't moved. With everything that we're seeing, you would think that we're at like 40K right now. And the thing is, MSTR was bearish. This is what I'm talking about though. Look at this dude. MSTR was bearish. MSTR fell by 35% before Bitcoin even topped out. And that's what it's doing now. It's just collapsing. So in a weird, sick world, we're like in here somewhere. If I'm coping too hard. So we would get another bounce and then we would just go down to the bottom. MSTR is the biggest Ponzi scheme in crypto right now. But it's not a Ponzi scheme because it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme because it went up by 40x. And Bitcoin only went up by 10x. So there's too much air in here that needs to get deflated out of the ball. And that's why we're getting this. But once MSTR reaches the point where the ball has no more air in it, it's not a Ponzi anymore. It becomes a good play again. And we're getting there. But there's a reason why this is going down. You guys got to remember that every time they buy, MSTR buys Bitcoin, they're adding shares to the market, which is why they're selling so much. The market cap is only 30 billion, even though look at how low we are. So if we went down another 50%, that would be 20 billion. But if we went all the way back to the high, it would be 200 billion. But the market cap for MSTR was not 200 billion back here. Which is why MSTR is not guaranteed to go back to the all-time high. It could, but it's not guaranteed. Posting my videos in other languages. I wish I knew how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but the YouTube days are over. Like the I'm never going to be a global icon. I'm just trying to get through this bear market so we can attack the bull market. I need some bullish propaganda. Give me some bullish propaganda. I mean, we did just make a double bottom now, so now we could technically go up. Question is, will we? Will we go up? Come on, baby, talk to me. I hear you, sir. Relief rally inbound. Friendly relief rally inbound. Come on. You guys think we're going to get a rally? Before it was only like 10%. Right? Yeah, 11% said 65K is next. We were just at 65K. Yeah, dude, we were at 65K a week ago. If we can survive this propaganda, I think we can get it. My take on the old market, everything's going to fall by 50% in the next 3 to 4 months. I'm not going to lie, I'm hoping there's a I'm hoping there's a relief rally. I really am. You guys have no idea. Is it still possible? Is it still possible? Well, the RSI is making a bullish divergence. So that's bullish. Yeah, there is a bullish divergence here. The guy in the chat got upset before that we didn't look at the weekly bullish divergence that doesn't exist. Unless he's talking about this. He's trying to say that this is a bullish divergence. I hope so. That means we can get another rally. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we can get a I'm gonna be honest, maybe I'm delusional. I still I still think we can get the relief rally. I I could I can smell it. It smells like the sun. You guys don't think this is possible? Smells like sunblock. You still think the top isn't in? Well, that I can't help you with. There's no evidence that suggests the top is. I mean, brother, we got 3 months left of the bear market. The bear market is almost over. It's not about is the top in. What's the weight of the idea? They front run the masses and alt bottom sooner than expected. Yeah, after they go down 50%, then you could argue that being on a historic low, it gets interesting to try to short the bottom. Yeah, but there's no evidence that says the bottom is in. Oh shit, actually, I'm glad you said that. Hold on. We don't have to be blind. We can see what's going on. We have... Oh, it's not... It's not overheated yet. Damn it. The bottom... that decreases... That decreases the likelihood of a bottom. I mean, we did have red bars yesterday. Oh, I was hoping we would have had indications. Damn, you just squashed my relief rally. Alright, that's good. You squashed the relief rally, copium. We're right there. Oh, we're right there. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, but we're right back to where we were yesterday after making a lower low. Come on, man. Give us what we want. Give us what we're looking for. Christopher 10 says the most unlikely thing could happen because it's so unlikely. If we went straight up from here to the all-time high, it would catch so many people off guard. I, I appreciate the 10. Listen, man, listen, Chris, I appreciate the super chats, man. I really do. If you can afford to think that, then I say have at it. I'm not going to stand in the way of your dreams, my man. I appreciate the super chats. I really do. There's nothing I can say to convince you that we're going lower. So that's okay. You know, I can only say if you can afford to have that belief, then there's nothing stopping you from having that belief. I appreciate the 10. I really, really do, man. There's nothing I can show you that says that we're bullish. There's nothing. If I had to bull, I mean, even the tether is bearish. Like, this is, everything I look at says we're about to go straight down. Whenever the tether goes sideways, it's bear market bearish. This is a little secret. This is a little secret signal that your favorite YouTuber is not going to tell you about. When the tether goes sideways, it's bearish. Tether hasn't moved since the bear market started. That's how you know it's not a real bull market. When the bull market starts, Tether goes to the moon. Tether's not moving. You could argue that Tether is what makes it go up. They're probably just printing Tether and then buying Bitcoin, but it's not moving. So we know it's bearish. I agree with your base case of a short squeeze. I think it's still possible, but it's going to be a failed rally because the only reason we would go up is because of the shorts covering their shorts. There's no actual real buyers. That's why we have this. This is our guiding light. This chart is going to save us so much money. This is the exact chart that we looked at up here saying that this is a failed rally. Now it just made a lower low. So we know we're still bearish. And if we do get a rally and it's not just a short squeeze, it would make a higher high. Which means if it doesn't, just like it didn't the last two times, we're going to know it's a fake rally. That's why what we're getting right now is technically the better scenario if there is a relief rally. If we just go straight down from here, then obviously it was bearish the whole time, which it is bearish. We don't know if it's going to bounce or if it's going to go straight down. You know, like what if we're in something like this, which is scope, but it's just really big. Max cope. Looks like the relief rally ended already. We're going down again. But I appreciate the 10, man. It's a big moment we're in right now. Big moment, man. It's massive. We're getting a lot of viewers again, though, guys. I want to point that out. We have increased viewership, but it's not 200. So maybe 200 is bottom. We're still in a bull market. We've been in a bull market since 2011. People don't know what to do here equals nothing. Yeah, I mean, if you know what we're gonna do, then you can do something, but I personally don't. Oh, I'm not doing anything. Because there will be a time where we know with certainty what's happening. Right? We know with certainty that if we're down here at the end of the year, we're going to know with certainty that this is the time to get in. If there is another rally, we're going to know with certainty that we must go down. When we were up here, we knew with certainty that it was fake. We just didn't know how high it was going to go or when it was going to go down, but we knew that it was fake. When we were here, we knew we were about to go down. It looks like we're about to go down, and we might. We very well might. But there's also an option where we go down a little more and then bounce and then go down. I'm not looking for a little ass rally, a little ass move down. I'm looking for the big one, the big bubba. I'm looking for the hubba bubba, the bubble boy, the hubba bubba bubble boy crash. I'm gonna start saying that, the hubba bubba bubble boy crash. And the hubba bubba bubble boy crash is coming. It's definitely lurking. Oil just told us it's coming. Gold and silver just made another low. Gold and silver are also telling us that the crash is coming. It's just, is it now? MSTR says it should be now, which is why it kind of sucks. Because MSTR is telling us it's right now. I know how shit MSTR is. Where it turns bearish before we're actually bearish. You know? MSTR here, look at that. MSTR fell by 35% before Bitcoin even topped out. Now it's down 55%. It's just, I don't know. You know, could we get the rally or not? Can you entertain the bulls for a bit? Find some bullish indicators? There are none. I'm trying my best to, that's the problem. I'm trying to be bullish right now because I want the price to go up. But the fact that I can't find anything is what makes me so not happy. I've spent the last like 3 to 5 streams trying to find bullish propaganda. It's all bearish. I'm not only showing you bearish indicators, I'm showing you indicators that are neutral. They're just all bearish. The bullish propaganda that I'm sucking on is Ethereum has a 2-day green dot and it's making a higher low. But if we go down any lower, it's bearish. Every time we've had this green dot, we formed a bear flag, which we are. The problem is you also did the same thing last time and it went straight down. So if we're going to be bullish, we need to be forming the bottom right now, which we said that yesterday. And while we did make a new low today, we're back to where we were yesterday. Which means if we sit here for another couple of hours, we're actually going to get a green dot on the 4-hour time frame. Which doesn't mean that it's bullish, but it means that the bulls are knocking on the door. But there is no evidence to suggest that the bottom is forming. And people will always say, oh, you'll never know when the bottom is forming. No, that's not true. That's simply not true. We have evidence that tells us the bottom is forming. We don't have it right now. So if you think the bottom is in, you're betting that it's different this time. Which we already had this discussion, you know? I'm trying to find reasons to be bullish. The total market cap just made another low, but it's still holding. So it's cope, but it's still holding. Total 2 is also holding. Which is why I'm saying that if it is truly bearish, we need to keep going down. Which means the longer we sit here, the more bullish it gets. But it's not bullish, it's just bounce bullish. But I'm trying to tell you, there's no evidence that says we're bullish from here. Everything says we're about to go to sub 50K. I'm like a broken record player. Can we get another relief rally? I still think it's possible, but it's not guaranteed, and it's seemingly unlikely now. But was the first 59K capitulation? No, capitulation is when we go below 50,000. It's not capitulation until... Didn't I already ban this guy? How the hell did this guy get back in here? It's not capitulation until we get below 50,000. STRC is at $75. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good. So if we just go down, we just go down. So be it, my young friends in the chat. But I appreciate the super chats. We are now on capitulation watch. The missing piece of the puzzle for capitulation is the Dow Jones and the S&P and the QQQ. If these assets do not capitulate with Bitcoin, then it's not capitulation. It doesn't mean that we're not bearish. It just means that we're not going down to sub 50K yet. We are in a bear market, so at some point it's going to go below there. It's just, is it happening now? And I'm going to say, honestly, if we could stay here, I'm going to be honest, if we can sit here somehow, by the grace of God, we could get something. But tread carefully, because at any moment we could go down to 50K. That's what I would say. But with that said, I appreciate you all being here. Appreciate the super chats. We'll be back tomorrow. As always, stay safe. None of this is financial advice. Tread carefully. Take care. Hopefully when I end the stream, it marks the bottom, because that's what always happens. Literally every time I end the stream, we go up. Let's see. Let's see, baby. Enjoy the rest of your day. None of this is financial advice, and I'll see you soon.